So, hi guys. So today Charlotte and I went for a little walk in the countryside, had a good old chat and a catch up. Down the Beachy Head first though, so we popped down to Berlin Gap and had a little walk along the beach, which actually turned out to be a really nice little sort of sun trap. There was a little bit of a breeze, but it was probably in the sun with when you found a couple of sheltered spots, about 25 degrees Celsius, which is actually quite pleasant for the UK. As you can see there, it was sunny, but many moody clouds, which actually made some really cool photos. Days like today, I just bought the Rx10 Mark IV with me, and just had it in the bag, in a small bag, and I actually took it out as we walked along the beach and just took a few photos. And it was really nice that the fact that the weather was actually quite moody, with a little bit of blue sky obviously, and some sunshine, but it allowed me to obviously get some quite dynamic shots, which was kind of cool. And also up in the sky there was obviously some high pressure low pressure mixing, and you can see a bit of a rainbow in the sky there coming through the higher cloud, and you couldn't really see it because it was quite bright, so you couldn't actually see it with the naked eye, but obviously the cameras picked it up. And then obviously I noticed with my sunglasses on that it was there as well. A few sailing boats that were out, which was quite nice to see, and just shot a 600mm f5.6 on that one, and the same again. But as you can see there, where it was relatively breezy, the sort of sand or whatever has been pulled up from the bottom of the seabed and actually made some of the sea look sort of brownish rather than blue. But it got more blue the further out you go. As you can see there, you can see the sort of rainbow in the sky, I think they call it an aura, or whatever, going round the sun. That's f16, that shot there, to get the nice starburst. And this shot here, but the clouds are awesome, really kind of moody. And we did actually hear a rumble of thunder later on. And just having a good old chat. It was lovely down there, quite a few people having a wander around, throwing stones in the sea and everything, enjoying themselves. Some of the cloud formations look quite interesting. As you can see there, the tide is actually going out, and there was one sort of bit there that kept splashing over, so as you can see in a minute, I capture one bit of slow motion, but not the best bit. I kept missing the bigger waves, which unfortunately they seem to be sort of not every 5 but every 30 odd. You'd get a big one, so it was a bit difficult to actually keep tabs on it. But as you can see, lovely thing there. But there's one cloud up in the sky, which you'll see in a minute, that was transforming slowly. As you can see it there, looking straight in the middle of there at the moment. And it turns out it ended up looking like a tree. And so obviously some people don't see these sort of things, but obviously I'm looking at it more. And as you can see there, it's becoming a trunk, and obviously the bit at the top there, it sort of flares out and looks like, almost a bit like a tree. And the longer I waited, it became more and more apparent. And I thought, well, I've got to capture this and actually do something. So that's, to me, that kind of really looks like a tree trunk. And I just thought it just needs a bit more leaf definition. So I edited it when I got home, and just sort of added some leaf into the sky. Someone thought it was a firework when I put it on Facebook, but it's literally just kind of like an arty little edit, really. It's just a bit of fun, but it kind of made it look a bit like a tree. So as you see, sometimes you see faces, sometimes you see animal shapes and things like that in the sky. So this is a bit random. There was a sort of, I'm not sure where they're from, possibly China or something like that. They were doing these photos kind of like a wedding setup, which happens quite a lot down this way. They fly around from all over the world and take photos. The guy just literally left his old D700 just laying on the beach while he was wandering around. He was about 20 or 30 feet away. I was like, I'd never ever do that. But that's the range from the Rx10 there, sort of back from 24mm right up to 600mm, just as a shot really. You don't really see cameras just laying on the beach, so it was kind of a cool shot, and the way the strap and everything just shows you what camera it is was quite interesting. Here's a quick sort of sploshy shot at 500 frames per second, and it was just a bit of fun. Like I say, I kept missing the big ones. It was ones that were about 3 or 4 times as big as this, but there's no way really of counting it. So you know, and then we decided we'll walk back up on the top to where the car was, and when we got to the top, it was actually hotter than it was down the bottom, and we thought it was quite warm down the bottom. So there's obviously a nice little sun trap there, which is really nice. But as you can see, the clouds are awesome. They're just literally just big, fluffy sort of cotton wool clouds. And we were hoping that the Spitfire might fly along, which it does seem to on a Thursday down there sometimes. I think they do like an experience day, and a couple of times I've been there and it's been a Thursday each time. And every single time I'm just literally getting back to the car as it flies along when I've just walked down from the top of the cliffs, because it flies really low across sort of just off the shore. Here's a jackdaw I got, a 600mm f4, as you can see, nice and sharp. Just everyday shot really, but he didn't interested in looking at me. I was making noises and everything like that, and he just didn't want to look at me. So a side-on shot it was. And then we decided before we go, we walk up the top of the cliff to where the lighthouse was. Didn't go right up to the lighthouse, but just take a couple of shots and look back down across the beach, which you'll see in a second. And just had a little walk up. It was nice and warm until we got sort of near up a little bit further, and the wind was obviously coming across the top of the hills. But here's the Beltoot Lighthouse, which is actually a bed and breakfast. You can actually go and stay there, which I'm actually quite tempted to do, because it'd be quite cool to, especially in the winter, be up in that top bit there with the camera, some wide angle shots. This shot here was right on the other side of the valley, and you can see that tree there that's obviously just spent its life being blown to the right, and the moody clouds behind made quite a cool photo. And it was right up on that hill there where you could see right on the right hand side. This is where we're wandering back down, and back down to the car. As you can see here, this shot here, it was quite a kind of on the left hand side of the photo, nice light. On the right hand side, not so nice light, obviously due to a huge cloud covering the sun, which is what it kept doing. Some big moody clouds just blocking the sunlight every now and again. Oh, Mustang, that's cool. Some fastback as well. So after seeing that, there's an old Mustang fastback, which is kind of cool. Don't see them that often, especially in the UK. We have a little drive around through the country lanes to the Long Man of Wilmington, which is the Chalk Man, which is quite a famous thing. That first shot was 24mm. Next one was sort of about 135, and then obviously the next shot is at 600mm, and you can see how lovely and sharp that is, even when I'm sort of cropped in heavily and then backing out on it. Just gives you a rough idea. Lovely area, and just really nice and peaceful up there. And then there's this lovely little garden in the car park that you can actually it's just a viewpoint, but always looks lovely with the trees and the bushes there and everything, and the fence. Just English countryside sort of thing there. Charlotte jumped in front of the camera for a couple of shots, which is obviously nice. The light then obviously changed a little bit, which is a bit annoying, but it sort of balanced it well. A little bit there. And then this shot here I quite like, because she just happens to be looking over her shoulder towards where the Long Man is. And then there was a few rapeseed fields across the valley there when we were looking across, when we were up that high. Just all the lovely yellow and the greens and everything. It was just a nice view, really. It was just it's just colourful and everything, which looked good. As we drove further down, there's a skip lorry trying to get out of a tight spot. So we sat here for a couple of minutes watching this. I'll just put the end bit in there so you can kind of see. And then there's a small pub called the Giant's Rest, which I've been to quite a few times when I've been over this way. Quite a nice little place, and we basically pulled in. It literally just opened. It was about 12:15, sort of lunchtime, and both of us decided we want to have a drink, maybe some food. Once we'd been there for 5-10 minutes, we decided, we might as well grab some lunch. Sat outside, nice little sun trap there, a little bit of a breeze, but just as our food was about to come out, about 20 odd people turned up in a little coach, which was good timing on our part, because it means we got our food without any waiting as such. So nice lunch. I had a ploughman's, Charlotte had a jacket potato, so that filled us up quite nicely after our walk. A couple of drinks, and and then basically we headed home, and I sort of headed out back to edit the photos and have a quick look. The photos haven't really been touched that much. They've just been either cropped or a little bit of tweaking on the colour and everything like that. And here's just one of the shots with the sort of rainbow up into the clouds, which did look quite cool. It was quite faint in the sky. You couldn't really see it without your naked eye at all. And then another one zoomed right in on it. You can just about see the little bit of colour there in the middle of the shot there. Anyway guys, that was it. It was just a nice day out really, so I just thought I'd document it and put a little video up for you. So please subscribe, please click the notification bell, and keep watching. And like I say, any questions about the RX10 Mark IV or the A7R3 and anything to do with that sort of area, give us a shout.